Hey there, this is Sheryl, mental toughness coach, published author, speaker, and mother to a couple of amazing kids who happen to be high school and college student athletes. This is the video version of chapter 5 of my ebook, which is titled A Parent's Guide to Mental Toughness for Teens. But before we get into the content, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever heard or seen a teen repeat something negative to themselves over and over again? For example, maybe a tennis player who double faults a couple times. She might say to herself, I can't ever get a serve in. I am so incompetent. Well, this is completely normal and it happens a lot, but unfortunately, it's not too helpful when it comes to a teen being able to do their best. A teen's internal dialogue are the thoughts that they have, the things that they say over and over to themselves in their head. And it can be shaped by family, friends, peers, coaches, really anyone that has any influence in their life, even people that don't have influence in their life. So why is this so important for teens to be aware of their internal dialogue? Well, here's a reason. Laura Starcheski wrote an article for NPR. It was titled, Saying is Believing, the Science of Self-Talk. So very simply put, she said that imagining a movement in your head over and over again has some of the same effects on the brain of doing actually the physical practice. So that's fantastic when it comes to thinking of the right thing to do, but it's a little problematic when it comes to getting super frustrated about errors. So if teens do that and they're very negative and they repeat errors to themselves over and over, or they keep being frustrated, then it's really practicing the very thing that they want to avoid. So there's a couple ways that parents can encourage their teens to have a resilient voice. The first thing is they need to encourage them to have a resilient voice. So what that means is they can go ahead and acknowledge if they get frustrated or angry or have any type of negative thought and emotion. That is okay, but they need to understand that it needs to be for a finite amount of time. Then they need to get back to focusing on what they have control over to make themselves improve or get a little bit better. You can also encourage your teen to have a can-do voice. What that means is for them to think that they know they can do something. So back to the tennis player, if she could say something like, I know I can get this serve and toss the ball higher, that is a lot more constructive than I cannot ever get a serve in. And third, it's really helpful if you can communicate to your teen for them to have a positive voice. So what that means is that if they do slip up or stumble a little bit and make an error, then it's really important that they can extract what they should have done and also keep their tone really, really positive and encouraging. Here's a parent tip. Teens need to understand that their dialogue affects their performance, and they also need to really work on keeping that internal dialogue really positive and constructive. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to do so. I encourage you to visit my website, which is at www.sherylkline.com, where you will find a library of free resources, either written or other videos. Also, you have an opportunity to sign up for my free newsletter. And finally, you can find information there on my course, which is titled A Teen's Guide to Mental Toughness. I look forward to seeing you next time.